Hi guys, so we're going to be running some regular teaching tips this year, and this is our first one, and it's going to be around poetry recital. So I've got 5 tips for you that you can use with your students to help you in giving them critique and making sure that they're doing really well with their poems. So the first one is every time students say their poem, make sure that they're always saying the title of the poem and the poet. And if there isn't the name of a poet on the poem, then they can just say by anonymous or by unknown. Second tip is always, unless it's the first time that the first week that you've given them a poem, then they should always be saying the poem without the piece of paper. So even if they're just standing up and saying the title and the poet in the first couple of lines, that is better than holding the piece of paper and reading it aloud. Or worst case scenario is you have to give them the lines and they say them back. So it's really important that they're standing up and doing it without the piece of paper. Otherwise, if they know that it's an option to hold their poem, then they'll take this every time. So unless it's the first week, always make sure that they are standing speaking by memory. Now the third tip, we're going to use my actor Mark, who's going to deliver his poem, and I'll just give you some support on how we give students feedback.
The Skull by Steve Turner. Sometimes our playtimes were boring and dull, but not on the days that some boys found a skull. A real human skull found in the long grass.
Well done, Mark. That's awesome. Okay, so really good memorising, and I'm pleased you said the title and the poet. Can we just stay there? So that's perfect. Don't go back to your seat. If you can just take your hands out of your pockets, please. And I wonder, how can you say the first 2 lines, and just your hands down by your sides? Great. How can you say the first 2 lines as if though it's really boring? How can you change your voice and your face?
Sometimes our playtimes were boring and dull.
Awesome. And the next 2 lines as if it's really exciting.
But not on the days that some boys found a skull.
Right, and how can you say real as if with some emphasis, so it was a real human skull?
A real human skull.
Awesome. And how can you say the word long to make the grass sound long?
Found in the long grass.
Perfect. That's so good. So now can you do it once again, taking into consideration all that feedback?
Sure. The Skull by Steve Turner. Sometimes our days were boring and dull, but not on the day that some boys found a skull. A real human skull found in the long grass.
Awesome. And so for your homework, you're going to learn the next few lines, which is where a ball had been kicked into too wild a path. They couldn't believe it. It looked like a stone, except it had teeth and was made out of bone. So can you do that for homework for us? Awesome, well done, Mark. The tips there are to get the student to deliver their poem and to stay standing, and then to give them some feedback on how can they say words to add more emphasis, how can they stand in Mark's case, and then to get them to repeat the poem, taking on board your feedback. And the other tip that I think is really helpful is for the teacher to role model the next few lines that the student has to learn for homework with the vocal expression. So they hear it from the teacher and they think, oh great, okay, I can do that for homework. So that's your 5 tips to make sure students always say the poem title and the poet. Make sure that they're doing it without holding onto the piece of paper every week. Get them to stay standing, give them some positive feedback, things to work on, and then get them to re-deliver the poem, taking on the feedback that you've given them. Good luck, guys.